Hey everyone, welcome back to Prime Sports. This is episode 14, and yeah, we got another episode for you guys now. We're getting them out quicker, and hopefully you guys are appreciating that, Nico. We got him on the other end.
Hey guys, how's it going? Good to be back for another one. Today we have a few topics for you guys. We got the FIFA awards that just happened, as well as the Ballon d'Or. And then we also got Spurs. They're in hot form so far this season. So we're going to talk to you guys about that. And we actually have an interview for that topic, which we did with one of our good friends, who is a Spurs fan. And we're also going to be talking about Man United. They haven't had the best form compared to Spurs, so we're kind of going to be doing like a hot form and very poor form teams. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all we're going to cover today. So if Andre wants to start off with the first topic.
Yeah, let's get right into it. So, as you mentioned earlier in the week, we got when was it? Was it a Monday where these awards happened?
Yeah, it was on Monday, last
So
Monday.
pretty much a week ago, and some people were happy with some awards, some people weren't happy with some awards. Let's start off with the first one. I don't want to say least important, but the least anticipated.
Yeah,
The Socrates Award.
yeah.
So that
So
went to Vinicius Jr.
yeah.
And do you know what the Socrates Award was for?
Yeah, it's pretty much an award that they're giving out for, giving back to the community and, being very sportsman, how do you say it? Like you show like sportsmanship and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
like a leader in your community, kind of.
Yeah.
And Vinicius was definitely one of those, especially with all the racism he faced
Yeah.
in La Liga, specifically with his dancing after the goal. And I love how he just continued to do them despite all the hate he got. So
Yeah.
good for him. Um, Very well deserved award. Want to go to the next one, Nico?
Yeah, so we got the Yasin Award. Obviously you guys know goalkeeper of the year.
Mhm.
Um, and it went to Eli Martinez. No surprises there. Pretty much if you win the World Cup, you're getting an award. That's just how it goes nowadays. What do you think?
Yeah. I kind of don't like the if you win the World Cup, you win the award type of thing. I mean, I understand it because the World Cup's probably the hardest competition in the world. But at the same time, I say that, but I can't be too mad because these days, when you think of goalkeepers, like best goalkeepers, there's no like Neuer of the pack. It's like everyone's kind of like even. Um, so I guess to give it to Emi Martinez is okay. I'm not gonna complain too much. He did make that, incredible save in the final to like keep him alive to get into
Yeah, he
extra
pretty
time.
much he pretty much won it for them,
Yeah, pretty
to be
much. He
honest.
pretty much won it to them. So like I think he earned that award just from that one save even.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah.
a little unfair because I could name a few keepers that were better than him all year, but it's
Yeah, I was gonna ask like if you could give it to someone like or who do you think is the best goalkeeper in the world right now?
at the moment,
At the
uh,
moment I actually don't even know.
I don't know if there's
Is there a
one
best
that would,
goalkeeper in the world?
huh?
Is there a best goalkeeper in the world?
I don't
I
know
feel
if I
like I
would
can't say
say
that for
like
someone.
it's not like by a large margin. Like a lot of them are like, put all together. Like if it was last year, I would say Courtois,
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
but
I was gonna say you're not gonna like this, but I was gonna
he's
say
injured.
Onana from last year.
On last year, Onana did good, but I don't think he was the best in the world.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
Um, I don't know. Like
Courtois is a good show.
City won the Champions League with Ederson,
But
so
yeah, I was thinking that, but like could you say Ederson is a incredible goalie? Like, oh my God, this guy's stopping everything.
no, that's the thing. I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
He is a good
Um,
goalie, but like put anyone
Also
between the sticks.
De Gea had a pretty good shot last season because he had like
Golden
the
glove.
most clean sheets. So
Yeah. That's on a Man United team.
yeah, on Man
Yeah.
United, which says a lot.
That's not nothing, that's for sure. Other than that, I really like Black. He kind of goes under the radar at Atletico, but he's a pretty good goalkeeper.
I don't
Um,
know. If it was the season that Milan won the league, I would totally say Magnan, and I'm not being biased at all. He was incredible that season. Last season, I wouldn't say Magnan. Last
Okay.
season, because he was injured a lot, and even this season, like he's still good, but I don't know. He's picking up some injuries, and it's kind of worrying because I know how good he is. So like, if he stays consistent, he's top three in my opinion. But he needs to like stop getting injured. um, other than that, like right now, I'd say Courtois is probably the best, but
Yeah.
he's injured as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's a tough
yeah,
one.
yeah,
We should make a ranking sometime about like top five or top five keepers because it's a very subjective ranking, I'm sure.
yeah.
Anyway, so we didn't even talk about Emi Martinez through that whole time of ranking our goalkeeper. I kind of forgot about him even though we were
He's
just talking about him.
he's a pretty good goalie, but I wouldn't say he's like top five in the
Yeah,
world.
yeah, that's fair. All right, so yeah, Emi Martinez wins the Yashin Award. The next one's pretty obvious. Haaland wins the Muller Award for Striker of the Year. Um, I mean, I don't feel like I have to say anything because I think we all know what happened. Won the treble, broke several Premier League records. Last year was his first year in the Prem, right?
Yeah.
So that just speaks for itself. 1 year and you're breaking all these records. Anything you want to add about Haaland?
Oh, he's incredible. That's all
Yeah.
you can say, pretty much. He deserved it 100%. I think it's even some people were shocked that he didn't win the Ballon d'Or. So, I mean, he definitely deserved some type of award,
Yeah.
and I'm glad he got at least the Muller Award, which is deserved in my opinion.
Yeah.
Who else could be a better, like you can make a discussion about like, oh, maybe he wasn't the best player in the world,
Yeah.
so he didn't deserve the Ballon d'Or, but you can't really say he wasn't the
Yeah.
best
You
striker.
can't argue that one. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else would compete with that? Lewandowski kind of fell off.
Yeah.
And who else?
Honestly, like I would say maybe like Lautaro Martinez.
Yeah, he had a good taking them to the semifinals of the Champions League. Um,
He was really good, very clinical.
I guess I don't know Benzema.
Benzema, yeah, but
He
not,
won the Ballon d'Or the year
yeah,
before. So yeah, Haaland it's he's so far ahead of everyone else.
yeah,
So far
yeah.
ahead. All right. One I forgot to mention is the I forgot what the award is called, but for the best U21 player,
Oh,
pretty much young
Bellingham.
player of the year. Do you remember what the award is called by any chance?
I'm blanking out. Hold on.
Okay, look it up and I'll continue. But I mean, yeah, that was an easy one to give to Bellingham. He's another one that could almost maybe not last year win the Ballon d'Or, but I think maybe that might be our next Ballon d'Or winner. Is
It
it the
is
Corey or something?
the Kappa. I'm
Copa.
stupid. The
Okay.
Kappa Award. Yeah, so best U21 player. Yeah, he deserved that
Yeah.
100%. And I believe that's for last season too,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah.
So it's
And
not
he's
even this
still under
season.
21.
So he can still win it again, no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's insane.
It's a little silly, but yeah, he well deserved. I don't know. I think he might be our next Ballon d'Or winner, if I'm being completely honest with you. Do
If
you
he
think the
keeps
same thing?
this up, if he keeps this up, I think so, but it's gonna be hard to keep this up.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
he's playing like a striker pretty much.
I think Ancelotti does play him striker for some games as well. A number five
Insane.
up top is nothing to play around with. Um,
Number five is the new number nine.
before we get to Messi's Ballon d'Or, I want to ask you because those were all the awards, and it would be great if they had maybe a Defender of the Year award or a Midfielder of the Year award. Maybe they'll be adding that because these are obviously fairly new awards. But what do you think about that?
Um, yeah, I think there should be more awards, especially for like defender, midfielder, who else? Like maybe would you do like winger, or is that too broad? Would you count that in as
Mm,
like attacker?
that
Because
one's hard because
like
they
if you
are
think about it,
attackers. They're attackers, but they don't get credit because they're not scoring as many goals as the strikers.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of like I don't know, it's kind of like
I,
defenders not being able to win the Ballon d'Or.
yeah, it's tough. It's definitely tough.
Like
But
winger of the year
winger
maybe.
of the year, yeah, it's a little like very specific. Might as well add false nine of the year to the mix. So,
No,
but no,
but I
you're
think
definitely right.
I think they will introduce new awards because I don't know if you saw the news, but UEFA is gonna be taking care of the awards now because they made a deal with France Football and pretty much I don't know if you guys know France Football is the company that was in charge of all these the Ballon d'Or ceremony and all that. And they're gonna be working together with UEFA now, and I think UEFA will probably take the lead on everything. They probably bought them out or something,
Yeah.
and they're gonna be introducing Manager of the Year awards. They're gonna be scrapping the UEFA Player of the Year, and they're just gonna have the Ballon d'Or.
Oh,
Uh,
that's excellent.
yeah, so they're not doing any of like the UEFA awards anymore. They're not doing the UEFA ceremony anymore. It's just gonna be all in the Ballon d'Or ceremony.
That's
And
actually like the best case scenario, I think.
yeah, yeah, and
So,
they're gonna
though,
have. Sorry.
go ahead, go ahead.
So remember how UEFA did the Manager of the Year?
Yep.
Yeah, so now they're not doing that ceremony, so they're just gonna bring it into the Ballon d'Or
Yeah, that's good.
ceremonies. Yeah, it's good.
I always thought the UEFA like men's player of the year was just like an added award that, and it seemed
Yeah.
like it wasn't as anticipated as like Ballon d'Or. Obviously, I guess because Ballon d'Or is the one you want to win.
Hmm.
So I'm happy that they're kind of combining and making it more. I guess it just makes more sense to have like one big award show rather than like three different ones.
Yeah, and I think it also does open up opportunity for more awards because I
Yeah,
think UEFA is probably thinking about that. So
yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
everyone needs to be recognized for their talent and their ability rather than just an attacker winning the ball and door all the time. So
yeah.
so I think that's good. The midfielder and defender award we were just talking about. What would they be named after? Because obviously there's like the Muller Award, the Socrates Award. I was thinking it'd probably be like the Zidane Award probably, and
Mm.
Maldini or like Beckenbauer for defender.
Yeah.
That's pretty fair, right? I can't think of
I
any other midfielders for other than Zidane.
yeah.
You're gonna say like Pirlo,
No, no, I don't think Pirlo's in that category.
but yeah, I think that'd be sick, eh?
Hmm.
Zidane award and Bellingham wins it, he'll definitely start crying. His idol.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's a good idea. I don't know who would they would name it after. In my opinion, I don't know. I think they would name it after like some like very, very
Something
old,
even older
like some old players that no one knows, you
in the
know?
50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
They tend to do that a lot. Um,
Yeah, I just
yeah.
thought that was an interesting thing to talk. Oh, but who would win it actually? Who would win the midfielder and defender award if they had one this year?
Like from last year.
Yeah.
Um,
Midfielders, I was thinking maybe Modric, Rodri.
last year though,
Yeah. I would
I,
say Rodri wins it.
Rodri, I'd say from last year.
Because he won, I guess, yeah, Man City, they won everything. But he was also like a big piece of that. He was scoring goals and he scored the Champions League winning goal. It was just an overall tank. I can't think of any other. I don't want to say Bellingham because that's just recency bias. He would get that next year.
Hmm.
And for
Um,
defenders,
yeah, defender. I don't know. I'm trying to think of that right now. I actually don't know.
defenders, they're hard to stick out, man.
Yeah.
You're not really looking at a defender. You're like, wow, that guy's gonna win an award like Cannavaro.
Who was like really big on City last year?
That's what I'm saying. Like Ruben Diaz, but I wouldn't give it to him, even though he is good. I don't see him as like a best in the world type of defender.
I don't know
Um,
that those are two hard
yeah,
questions. I honestly don't know. I never thought about that.
defender of the year. Yeah, I don't know. We'll leave that one to other people to decide. I can't really think
You
of one.
guys decide in the comments who should get it because
Yeah,
we have no idea.
yeah. I just keep. It's easy to just think of City players after everything they've won, but
See, and that's also what I was talking about before. Like people always just assume that if you win,
because
you
they win
should get it.
everything. Yeah,
But it's not about like team efforts. It's about individual, their individual awards.
maybe a Vardial. He'd be in the mix, maybe. Maybe not win it, but he'd
But
definitely be
was
a
he the
nomination.
was he the best of the year? Like,
Probably not, but nomination. Um, I'm trying to think of defenders on like Real Madrid, Barca. Like Rudiger might get in that mix. Um, yeah, I think that's about it. There's no like, I think Marcelo would win it in his time, maybe.
yeah, I don't know.
Ramos
Anyway,
would have definitely won it in his time.
let's move on to the next
Okay,
topic, or else we're gonna be on this all day.
okay.
So
The
what do
big
we have
topic.
next? What
You
do we
wanna
have
you wanna
next on
start
here?
us off on the big topic?
Okay, so the GOAT himself. Yeah, Messi won the Ballon d'Or. I don't know if you guys expected that.
If you didn't know, he won it.
I don't know how many of you actually expected him to win. Yeah, what do you think about his win? I think it was pretty deserved.
I was gonna say, especially since they announced it like 2 months before the actual like awards, which is the
Well,
dumbest
it
thing
wasn't
ever.
it wasn't them who announced it though. It was just insiders.
Yeah, but like I feel like that should be like classified until the actual awards happen, because then what's the point of the award show if everyone already knows? He's
Fabrizio
still good.
Romano, he knows
He's
everything.
he's also like ruining the fun of transfers because he announces them like a month before, and then throughout that month it gets finalized until the end.
Yeah.
Um. Anyway, Messi. Yeah, I think he's obviously. I like to say he's the greatest player of all time. I don't think there's really a debate at this point with everything that he's won, everything he's accomplished. Um, but I don't think he should have got this Ballon d'Or if I'm being
Wow.
brutally honest. I'm not gonna
Wow.
say okay. I'm not gonna say that like. So obviously my other counterpart would be Haaland, and I'm not gonna say who's got robbed because first of all, Messi did win a World Cup, and it's like this great fairy tale ending, great fairy tale story. And also, it's not like the people who decide. It's not like controversial. You see full list of who voted for him, and it was clear that everyone wanted him to win. But I don't know. It's like he won the World Cup, but so did Julian Alvarez. So did Otamendi.
Okay, but when you say he won the World Cup, like he won the World Cup for them. Like he was monumental throughout the whole thing. And
Yeah,
like to single-handedly drag your team to win a World Cup, it takes some talent.
that's true.
So like do you think Haaland could do the same
Probably not because he's
under pressure?
probably not because he kind of
I
I
mean,
don't want to say
look,
rely because he can score some stupid crazy goals, but he needs a little bit of assistance
I don't know. I
into the
just
box and whatever.
compare I think that Messi's more of a big game player. Like
Yeah,
look at Haaland
that's true. Haaland in the
in the
big game
final.
doesn't he
In the
gets like
final.
6.0 average ratings in like semifinals and finals. But
Yeah, like
I want to
sorry,
say,
I was just
oh
gonna
yeah,
say
finish your thing. Yeah,
look at Haaland in the Champions League final, for
yeah,
example. And then look at Messi in the World Cup final.
yeah. That's fair. And then
Two different categories.
Mbappe scored a hat trick.
And Mbappe. So to be honest, if it's me, I'm putting Mbappe at the moment over Haaland. At the moment. At the
Right
moment.
now.
Right now,
PSG
without
are like third.
yeah, but I'm not
Yeah,
talking about team efforts. I'm talking about players'
but if
natural talent to drag his team to a
wow,
victory.
he's dragging them to third.
Okay, but he also can't just win every game for them. Like
Why
that's
not?
unrealistic. But you're telling me if you put Haaland and Mbappe against each other in a final, I would say that Mbappe is the one helping his team out the most, and
PSG
Haaland
are,
is
are
gonna
first.
be yeah.
No,
And
you're right. You're right.
like I
Mbappe
just
is
think
better at creating plays and can do it himself, kind of. Haaland kind of needs the help to score.
yeah,
You're
I'm
right.
not saying Haaland's bad. He's
No, no.
amazing.
Oh,
He's a
I know, I
great
know.
striker,
I know you
produces
love
a lot
Haaland.
of goals. I love him, but the thing is, when you compare, without comparing the teams, without comparing the player,
Situations
sorry,
and
the
yeah.
team achievements and all that, you just put one player versus the other player. I think that either Messi or Mbappe individually are better than Haaland. Individually, what they can do by themselves.
Yeah, that's fair. But the way I see it is Haaland impressed me more than Messi impressed me last year. Because
That's
for
that's
first year in the Prem, smashed the records, top goal scorer by like 40 goals to the next guy or something. It wasn't that, but you know what I mean. He beat second place by quite a margin, and that was Harry Kane, who was also having like almost a record breaking year. And then he won Champions League, won the Prem, won the treble.
yeah, but those are all team achievements.
So was the World Cup.
Yeah, but when you look at the way that City won those achievements, it was more of a team effort. When
Okay.
you look at how Argentina won the World Cup, it was Messi and that one save at the end.
So pretty much you're saying, pretty much you're saying because Messi carried Argentina to the World Cup, it doesn't matter what he did before that. That's it.
What do you mean what he did before that?
Like he didn't even have to play a game before the World Cup, but because he did that earned
Oh,
him
well,
it.
he did good during the year too. I'm not saying he had a better season than Haaland in terms of goals, but he still played great, regardless of being on a pretty poor PSG team.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
they
know.
did have a pretty poor team.
I think it goes back to the same discussion that people always used to have with Messi versus Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Who's better? Well,
That's what
they're two different positions.
I'm scared people are latching on to his name. Okay, that's actually not fair to say because yeah, you're right. He won the World Cup and he did kind of carry Argentina there. But I'm scared it's people like because it's Messi, they give it to him. Again, I think he's the greatest player of all time. I have nothing against him at all. Um, but I don't know. I just think Haaland impressed me more
Can
with
I just
everything
ask you
he's done.
something?
Yeah,
Who do you think is a more talented player?
Messi is more talented, buddy. But it's how good you have a season.
When you put Messi, Mbappe, Haaland, because those are probably the top three in the world right now. Who would you say is more naturally gifted, talented, and can drag his team to a win?
Obvious, anyone can answer that question. But the Ballon d'Or is how is like you're awarded it because you're the best player from that season, not oh, let's give it to Messi because I just know he can create chances
Well, it's
better
not
than
you
Haaland
know,
can.
it's because he did. It's because he did. Like, in my opinion, you can score as many goals as you want, but I don't look at that. I don't look at, oh, he has 50 goals in the season. That's cool. What if they're all tap-ins?
You got to be there to score them.
I understand, and you make your team win the game, cool, but I don't know. Maybe me and you have a different idea of what
We definitely do.
the Ballon d'Or should be about. In
Actually,
my opinion, it should be about natural talent and like how good individually you are without looking at all the team statistics and all the team achievements. I don't know. I just prefer to look at it as like put one player next to another player. Who do you think is better? That player should win. You probably look at it more as like stats, like, oh, this player has 50 goals the season. The other player has 20. Why should he win? You look
that's
at it
fair.
like that. I look at it differently.
That's fair. I don't want to make it into a because I also complain about this too, how it's always a striker contest. So
Yeah.
you're right. If it's a little bit, it's just a striker contest if we're just listing off who scored more.
It's like then defenders really have no
Yeah,
chance
then
of
they really have
winning.
no chance. Yeah.
Because what are you gonna put Haaland next to I don't know, Ruben Diaz? Yeah, who's gonna win?
No, you're right about that. I don't know. I just feel like Haaland scored enough goals,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. You're
I
right, luck.
definitely think okay, if Haaland has another one of those seasons this year and Mbappe doesn't perform, Messi, I don't know what he's doing now. He kind of
Sometimes he plays, sometimes he doesn't.
and he doesn't really have an international competition to
Yeah.
show his worth this year. So I think if Haaland does that again, then yeah, sure, he can win for sure.
But but I'd like let's say Bellingham keep this up, I would be more impressed with Bellingham.
Yeah. No.
right?
If Bellingham gets like anything near like 20, 25 goals this
Yeah,
season
I'd be
and
way
like
more impressed.
gets a few I don't know, other personal achievements, starts breaking a few more records, I would
Yeah.
say he gets the shout this year, which would be
Okay.
insane, by the way.
Yeah, that's so.
Ballon d'Or at how old? 20?
He would be. I don't know if he
21?
would turn 21 by then, but max he would be 21 years old.
Would he be the youngest Ballon d'Or winner, or did Messi win that
It's a good
before?
question. Talk about
I
something
think
random while I look.
I think Messi won it when he was like 23 for the first one. I'm not
I think he
sure
had a
though.
few by 23.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm. See, another reason why he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I think it was sometime around 23. But yeah, it would be huge if he won it. And honestly, I wouldn't put it off the table at all.
He was 22 when he won his first Ballon d'Or, according to this.
22?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
he would
um
actually be the youngest.
Bellingham would be the young and like
Oh,
what a mark would that be? Like
yeah.
that would be huge.
He'd instantly be the best player in the world. No?
Which is crazy to think
Yeah.
about.
And then he still has his whole like 12, 13 years ahead of him after that. What
Insane.
if he wins more than Messi? Oh, I don't think. No, we're not ready to talk about that. How many do you think Messi would win if Ronaldo didn't exist? Because then that can really determine if Bellingham could like catch up to Messi.
Ah,
I guess.
that's a
Do you
hard
think he would just win all the ones that Ronaldo won?
no. Wait, sorry, you said how many would he win if Ronaldo didn't exist?
Yeah, like it wasn't on the planet. Because who else is Neymar? Would he just add another five to his collection?
I'm thinking because I think there was one year when it was like very, very
Oh, I think
uh
Lewandowski.
close.
Maybe
Lewandowski
Van Dijk.
or no, it was one year. I think it was like 2010. Who won it in 2010?
I
Was it
think it was
Messi?
Messi, yeah. I think.
There was one year
Or
where
Snyder or
there
someone.
was a huge shout where they said Schneider was supposed to win, and they said he got robbed because he didn't win
Interesting.
because he won
Also,
the treble. He won the treble that year, and he had a really good year with Inter.
um, oh yeah, that's when they won the Champions League, right?
Yeah, that's when they won the treble. So
Okay.
they
Also,
were
I think
saying,
about Ribery in 2013 because, but I think did Messi? No, Ronaldo won that one.
but if Messi won it in 2010, then I can't say Schneider because that doesn't make
Because then, yeah,
sense.
it would have just went to Messi.
Um,
I think the Ribery won it as well. Ronaldo won it, but I think Messi was still second in the ranking, anyways. But there's always this uproar about how Ribery was robbed. Um,
yeah, so I guess you could say like every time Ronaldo won it, Messi was second.
just give it to him.
So I would
That's at
give it
least
to
another
Messi.
three. At least another three, I think.
Could you imagine Messi
More than
having
10.
over 10?
Incredible. I feel like there's an. Is there a special Ballon d'Or for that if you get like 10? Like isn't there like a super Ballon d'Or or something like that?
I think I heard something like that. I
I
don't
don't know
know.
how you win that, but I know no one has it. That'd be interesting to see. Um, maybe that's
Like
what they're trying to.
player of the decade or something. They should do
Maybe.
that. They
I mean,
should do that.
I think Messi would win that. No,
Yeah.
pretty easily.
Yeah.
They should do that. Yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to add a couple more things about the Ballon d'Or earlier this week. So Fabrizio came out with each nation and who they voted for. Pretty much everyone either voted for Messi, Haaland, or Mbappe. That was usually their top three. But there was no other players that finished in their first ballot other than those three players, except for one country. And well, I already told you this, so I'm not gonna ask you to guess. But Portugal voted for Bernardo Silva as their first
Amazing.
ballot. Good player, but not deservingly as the first ballot. Um, and then their second was Vinicius Jr. And then their third was Messi. So it's like a little weird because then they put Haaland, then they put Mbappe. Or did they put Mbappe then Haaland? I can't remember. But the point is they put Bernardo Silva first, and they're the only other country to. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, they're backing up their home players, I guess. Good for them. No other country
Yeah,
did
there
that
was no other country did that. Not even
unless
France.
Like Argentina, obviously, but
Yeah,
they have the right to choose
and
Messi.
Norway put Haaland as well. But
On
but
Norway put Haaland.
yeah, but not even
Fair enough.
not even France. They put Haaland first, then Messi, then Mbappe. I guess when
If you're
you're
Mbappe, you're throwing hands.
yeah, I guess they gotta be unbiased because they're hosting the show. But could
Yeah.
you imagine?
He's at
Can't
the ceremony in France and he's like, wow.
like I can't even win in my own country.
Did you see that clip when he was sitting with the Man City players and then they all got up to get
They
their
all
oath and he
left.
was the only one sitting there
Why
and
would they
he's like,
make
oh,
him? Why would they make him sit in the middle of the men's city team? It doesn't make any
uh,
sense to me.
maybe he's gonna go to Man City.
Oh yeah, I really hope that doesn't happen because then what's the point of the Haaland versus Mbappe rivalry?
Imagine.
That's like if Ronaldo went to Barca from Man U instead of Real Madrid.
Wow.
Our lives would be totally different. There
Yeah.
would be no Ronaldo versus Messi debates. There probably would be a little bit, but not as like what we saw.
All right, let's move on.
Let's move on. So we got coming up now, we got a little Premier League discussion. First, we got Spurs coming up, and we're gonna send you guys to our interview with Andre Rosa-Rodriguez. All right, so as we shift over to Premier League talk, obviously Spurs are a big story this year. We got a devoted Spurs fan here for you guys. Pleasure to have on the podcast, Andre Rosa-Rodriguez. How are you, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Actually, really happy because of how Spurs are doing. But yeah, great to be here.
Yeah, so Spurs are still undefeated in the league. They're on top of the Premier League with a 2-point gap from their North London rivals, who are in second. Did you expect this sort of start from the Spurs?
Honestly, no. Obviously, being a Spurs fan, I was trying to manage my expectations from the very beginning. The fact that Antonio Conte and Jose Mourinho couldn't do much with them, um, worried me. The fact that we were bringing in someone that I didn't know much of, but I heard a lot of good things. But yeah, I mean, they're definitely doing way better than I thought, than I think most people thought. I think even people who weren't Spurs fan had us chalked out for like sixth or seventh, and then here we are at top of the league, just enjoying what I can for now, I guess. But we'll see, taking it one game at a time.
It's funny to
Yeah,
say that because
definitely.
I actually had them finishing eighth, but that doesn't look too good now.
Yeah,
They're
we did
looking good though.
predictions. We did predictions at the start of the season, and me and Andre both had them like mid-table.
I
So
regret that
actually,
instantly.
I think I had them like fourth,
No,
if
you
I'm
had
not
them
wrong.
higher than
So
me, I
I
think.
I think I had a bit more hope than Andre,
Yeah.
but
All right.
Yeah, I
Well,
think I had them at I think like fifth, and that
yeah.
was me being positive.
there you go. You just said how you didn't expect this at all. What kind of were you expecting going into this season?
I thought it would be a rebuild season for sure, and while it has been, I think we've made, I guess, really, really critical signings. Van de Ven was a very, very important signing, being able to sign a player that could partner Romero well, that could allow Romero to be the really good player that we know he was. We just know that I think we're seeing now he was definitely being much more rash last season because he had the likes of Dyer beside him, where if he didn't stop them, they probably weren't going to get stopped after that because Dyer would not be doing much or Sanchez would be flopping on the ground. No offense to these players because they're still Tottenham players. I know Sanchez out on loan, but or did he get bought? I think he got bought. So never mind. Yeah, Sanchez kept flopping on the ground. So yeah, I just think that we're seeing that difference being made when you have someone you can trust beside you for Romero. And then, Kane left, and that was a big, change for us. But
Yeah,
to
we'll
me
ask you about that later on. Yeah.
okay, but okay, so I'll leave it for now. But so yeah, so I think we've just made some critical signings, and James Madison, what a player. And I guess a position that we've been missing since Eriksson left. So what a difference.
And what do you think improved the most from last year? Like what sort of area of the game that you guys play kind of what do you think improved most?
I think the style of play is just completely different. I enjoy watching them. Even if we aren't scoring, they're just always at the right place, trying to get possession back. It's a very, I feel like, pressing type of football and trying to always stay up. We're always trying to get the ball back and trying to hit some sort of counterattack. And a lot of it is just players being ready to get the ball and then support each other to get that ball right up into the box and then just keep the pressure there. We don't allow them to come back too much. I've noticed. I'm trying to like remember right now when I watch, and I don't remember them usually being on our box for too long. And sometimes, unfortunately, it happens. We're all human. We'll make a mistake or two, and then they do score on us. But a lot of times, it's just on their half. And I think that style of play has made us a very dangerous team, and it really sucks for them when they underestimate us.
Yeah. Um, you guys are still undefeated, almost like a perfect season almost. And what do you think might still need work though on this team right now?
Squad depth is the biggest key difference here. I think that we haven't had any major injuries. We've had a few that have obviously happened. We've had Perisic, who's been gone for a while. Bentancur is just coming back, but we haven't had our critical players injured. But I'm scared that Van de Ven or James Madison or Hillman Son get injured, and there goes our streak, because those three players have honestly been so good. Obviously Romero as well. I don't want to I guess you could say undervalue his position either. And just quickly going back to the other question, now that I'm remembering, the fact that Ange Postecoglou made Son the captain, and then our co-captains is someone in the midfield and then someone on the defense, meaning that he has a like set his sights on a leader in each section of the field. And I think that that's something that's also important. But if we lose one of those leaders, we're screwed.
Yeah, and like you were saying before, new style of play, a lot more exciting. You would obviously contribute a lot of that to the new coach. What do you think about him?
So he's definitely exceeded my expectations as well. I didn't know him very well at all. I did some
Yeah,
stuff
I didn't
online.
know who he was either, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd heard that he's won stuff in every place he's gone to, which to me sounded very Jose Mourinho-esque. So I didn't think much of it, especially because they haven't been in the big leagues. He's been making his way up. When I was checking his stats, when I was doing my own thing, trying to do my research, trying to figure it out, and it's looked really, really good. But I was like, can he do it in the top leagues? And I guess he can, because he's already breaking records. I think he has the best start in Tottenham history now, like the most points that you can get within these amount of games. It's the best one in Tottenham history now. He's breaking records already. I think to me that's amazing. And I think it's great to see as well that he's so good with the media. He's so good with I guess talking to fans and getting them behind the team. Even because even when we were just beginning, I wasn't too excited, but he just made me excited, and he seemed to know what to say to the players as well. He has this way of just making sure to let people know, like, look, we're a family. Mistakes can happen. We're human, but it's okay. And I mean, you got players who used to play for us who are all just saying things. You've got Bale, who's really excited. I think he's coming in as a guest for the next two games because he's going to come to the stadium and watch. Kane obviously is commenting every other game as well, even though he's at Bayern. Um, and then there's this player Sandro who used to play for Tottenham a while ago. He also has been at the stadium making headlines because he's dancing and just being so hyped up with the crowd and everything. And yeah, I mean, very exciting to see that our culture sort of just in a much more positive way now. It's been a while.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to add, obviously it's easy to say when a team is winning a lot, to contribute that a lot to the coach and say like, oh, this guy's so good, the team's doing good, whatever. Let's just say he's a great manager. But honestly, on the other side of things, I think that when you start seeing the team struggle, that's when you really start to see if the manager is fit for the job. So I'm interested to see, like, maybe let's say Spurs start dropping a few points, the form dips a little bit. Like, can he get the team back on track? So I'm interested to see that.
He also
No,
seems really like motivating, like you were saying, Andre. Like he looks like he can like keep everyone like Nico said, if they do drop a few points, looks like he can probably keep everyone calm, keep everyone on the same page. He looks like pretty motivating in that way.
yeah, when we get scored on, I don't get like really like upset or anything because I'm like, well, the whistle hasn't gone yet, so we have time. We can still make up for this. I think the best example was the most recent game where Pedro Porro made a really really critical mistake where he was going to head the ball. He had the player behind him. He missed completely, and then the other player capitalized on it, and we got scored on like immediately. And I'm sure that if it had been like years before, we would have been like, well, unfortunate. I guess we'll try, but let's see. That really sucks. No, like they
Maybe
didn't
next
waste.
time. Maybe next time.
Yeah, they didn't waste a second, and then we got another goal. And it was Pedro Porro who did a lot of the um, you know, work at the back to make sure that Fulham didn't get another spot, especially later on after we scored and we were at 2-1. And we what is it? We didn't we were getting a lot of pressure on us because Fulham were really trying. So like kudos to them because they didn't give up either. And it's always good to see a team do that. And Pedro Porro made a very, very crucial tackle that would have gone in if he hadn't. It was one of those ones where like the goalkeeper was not getting to it. It was going in, but Pedro Porro got there, and I was like, well, you made up for it. It's fine.
Different than other years for sure. You touched on Madison a little bit, and you're right. He's such a phenomenal player. What can you say about him and Son this year?
Well, what can I say? Because there's so much to say. I mean, that guy has got his stats are so good. He's scored so many goals, so many assists, and there's so much more to it than just the stats as well. Um, Even like the group celebration they do with the darts as well. It's very iconic. It's becoming iconic already. But I mean, yeah, he was such a crucial signing. It allows Son to move to the middle, which I think personally to me, I haven't seen him be in the middle since Kane got injured for that long period during the Champions League run that we had in 2019, where we got to the final, and that's where we saw Son shine like a lot. Um, so I think it's very nice to see that he's got another partner there, this time in the number 10 spot rather than two strikers. Um, and also it kind of works with the fact that Ange Postecoglou, I hope he had that. I think he did have that moment of just being honest with himself, and maybe had a talk with Son. Was like, you know what? Look, you might not be as fast as you were when you made that Burnley goal where you ran across the entire field and ran through everybody,
What a
but
goal.
that's okay. Like it's just a matter of now adapting to what you have. What you still have is class. And I think that if we put you in the middle, you don't have to make these runs. You just have to be at the right spot, and we know you'll score. And that's exactly what's happened. James Madison always finds Son, and he's in the right position to score. And now it's brought his confidence back, which is a huge part of the game, right? And now he's making his classic crazy goals from outside the box. So I think James Madison's been a huge difference maker and more than just stats.
Yeah, and do you think that there's any other players that maybe went kind of under the radar so far that you've been impressed by?
Um, Basuma, I know I didn't mention him at all.
Mm,
Very good. Sar as well. While he still has a lot to learn, I think he does lose the ball a little bit too much to my liking. He has been
mhm.
doing very well for what we bought him for. I remember when we first got him, I was like, who the heck is this kid? But
Yeah, definitely an underrated midfield, I've noticed. Yeah.
yeah, and then oh, I want to mention Udoji. Some people call him Udogi, but I'm
Mm.
not sure which one's the right pronunciation. But Udoji, very
He's
good left back.
he's good.
Very,
I
very,
know I
very
know I know a bit about him because he's Italian, and I see him play in the in the national team a lot now that he's been getting called up for the first times. And yeah, he looks good.
yeah, and he's a guy who really shows what it means to just be ready for when your chance comes. Because a lot of players, they just get mad that they don't get played, but it's like you have to show once you get your chance. And if you show them that they should have been playing you all along, why wouldn't they play you again? And that's exactly what's happened. And that's why he gets to start all the time. Oh, even over Perisic. And now Perisic is injured. So now is his chance to show that we're okay on the left back. Maybe the next left back we bring in will be a backup to Adoji, but it won't be someone that's going to threaten his position because he's really, really good. And I'm sure his value in the market has already increased by a lot. He does such crucial runs and he comes back to defend. And that's what you always want to see in any player. He's playing for the badge, and you can just tell in the way he plays and the way he tries. Obviously there's more to it than just effort. There's talent involved, which I guess you could say, not to like ever diminish anyone's ambitions, but that is part of life, that you have to mix both. If you have the talent, you have to now try your best to flourish that talent into something that's worthy of being part of a really big team. So yeah, I think Udoji, Bissouma, Sar, and lastly, I think Johnson as well, a new signing that is kind of a lot of money, but I'm glad to see he's contributing to the team now. So hope to see more from him.
Excellent. Obviously, Spurs didn't qualify for a European competition last season. It looks like they might do it this year. Do you think them not being in a European competition this year kind of benefits their play? Maybe they don't have to, they don't need to find games to rest their players for a big Champions League match or something like that.
100%. I think if we had 4 trophies to work with, we would be getting injuries, especially because the Champions League or Europa League, we would be playing our best team, right? The other trophies that we, I guess the Carabao Cup and all that stuff, we don't really play the big squads. We bring them in. We would never do that for a Champions League. We would play our first team. We do not have the depth to be able to just play a first team on the weekend and then another first team halfway through the week. It's just not happening. I think it's probably why teams like Arsenal have been able to build on that, because I remember when they didn't have any European football and we were making fun of them. But by we, I mean the Tottenham fans around that I knew. And I was like, you know what? Honestly, these young players in about 5 years are going to be competing for the league. I'm telling you right now. I was like telling my friends, I'm telling you right now, those guys are going to be competing for the league. They just got to keep making really crucial signings, be smart about their signings. But the fact that this season they don't have to worry about all that stuff means that they get to just relax during the week and just protect their players. And that's exactly where we're at right now. So I have no if, ands, or buts when it comes to missing out on European football. I knew that was something we needed when the season ended last last season. I knew that we were not ready for 4 trophies. So the fact that we're going to have an FA Cup added on means that we need to do, not like 10 signings or even 4, just 2 really good, solid signings. And I'll be happy.
Yeah, and sorry. How do you think Spurs are doing without Kane? I mean, obviously it's easy to say, oh yeah, they're doing great. Who needs Kane? But yeah, what do you think?
And when he got sold, how were you feeling in that moment?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do chronologically. So when he got sold, it definitely felt like the end of an era to me. He's a huge part of the club, obviously. I have one Tottenham shirt and it has Kane on the back. I've been wanting to get a Human Sun shirt, and I think I will be very soon. The away shirt's really nice. But yeah, I was feeling. I didn't know whether or not to really feel upset. I think I felt more. I think there's been so many times where Kane was on the verge of leaving that I wasn't like I'd already mourned him
You're
leaving.
almost prepared for it.
I was prepared for it. I knew it would happen one day. And then when it did happen, I didn't really feel much. I was more like, okay, what are we gonna do next? Because even when I would play like career mode on FIFA, right? It's one of the sometimes when if I would play with Tottenham, I would sell Kane and then try something new because I knew that Kane leaving meant that we had to change our entire system. And I thought that if we sold Kane, while the transfer window was great, it changes the entire dynamic of what we need to do. And I think that with Ange Postecoglou, it might have been a blessing in disguise because Kane, he's a player that you need him at the top and you just need to feed him the ball. When you have players like Son, it just works better if you play a 4-3-3 type system. with a lot of passing, a lot of pressing. And I think if Kane was there, I don't know if it would work per se. Obviously, he's an amazing striker and he'll get you goals from wherever he is, he'll make something happen. But I just think that the way that Ange Postecoglou plays, I don't know if Kane would fit in that per se. I think he's definitely not as fast as any of the players we have. And a lot of our pressing, I think, works because as soon as we get the ball, we're right up there making those quick runs, and Kane is not quick. So
I'm
Interesting.
not sure if you heard, there was a lot of rumors that there's some sort of buyback option or something like that in the contract that Spurs have. Do you think you guys would ever take that in the future?
So if there is a buyback option, again, I do my research on all this stuff, but I mean that Bayern contract was very like it was just hard to sort of hear. We were hearing mixed things.
Yeah.
Fabrizio Romano said one thing, and then months later, Fabrizio Romano added more things about what was said based off of what Bayern was releasing. So whether or not there is a buyback, I think that I don't know if it would be smart to bring him back unless it's for one season right at the end of his career to just be like an impact player and just for the morale of the team. Because I think it would be very nice to have him play one last season.
Yeah.
Kind of what Barcelona tried to do with Messi, but it didn't work out. I would 100% be down for something like that, but I don't think it would be very smart to bring him in.
To like
Just
use him.
to use him as like a core of the team because it's although I think if you brought him back he would be a part of the I think the whole team should be the core of the team, but obviously being someone who's starting week in week out, it would change the dynamic again, right? And I think a lot of fans have moved on from Kane. It's the era of Son being the captain with his two co-captains on the midfield and then the defense. I think that would just change the dynamic because from what I thought, if Hugo Lloris left, the most obvious choice for captain would be Kane. So the fact that he was okay with leaving, knowing that he would be captain, says a lot to me. I don't think it would make sense for him to come back. Just changes the dynamic.
It was time to move on, definitely.
Yeah, it was time to move on. There'd been too many summers where we were being linked with other teams with Kane leaving. But I do think that the way that Kane handled it this last summer was it was classy. It was nice. There was no him taking interviews and talking about it. He was like, look, I'm not going to talk about it.
Mhm.
I've had my experience of 2021, what that did to the team. I'm happy if I stay. My contract will be ending. That's all I'll say. So it's up to you guys. You guys want to make money off of me? If you want to do it, make money off of me and go buy some players. And that's what we did. So I'm really happy about that at least. But yeah.
Class. And finally for you, Andre, just an overall look toward the end of the season. Do you think Spurs can go all the way?
Okay.
The big question.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to jinx anything either.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Let's
Cross your
say
fingers and then
all I'll say is I'm gonna say that throughout the season I'm gonna keep the same mentality, which is just taking it one game at a time.
Mhm.
There's no point in taking a look at in the future because we're not there yet. I'm gonna just take it one game at a time. That's the only way that I think I'll be able to manage my expectations because I want to be ambitious, but I've been hurt too many times. So one game at a time.
That's fair.
All right, Nico, you want to sign us off?
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. Obviously, that was honestly one of our best interviews we've done in a while.
Best in-depth
Yeah.
information interviews for sure.
All right, thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming, Andre.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
All right.
It's a pleasure to be here. And yeah, in case you guys were wondering the reason why I was obviously know a lot about Spurs besides being the fan, I have a page called Spurs Related. We have our own podcast as well, specifically Spurs related, and we also have a lot of socials with all the news related to Spurs if you guys want to follow that at any time. But yeah, that's a little plug there. But all right,
All right.
thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Take care.
Take care.
Hey guys, welcome back. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little interview we did with Andre. He's a very, very good guy, very knowledgeable about all things Spurs. So
Very knowledgeable. Yeah. Very
Hopefully we
knowledgeable.
can have him back in the future. He was definitely a good interview to do, and yeah, hope you Spurs fans and neutral fans enjoyed that conversation.
Yeah. We'll have all of his
Introdu-
socials linked in the description, his personals, and he does do Spurs news and Toronto FC news if you guys are interested. So
yeah,
that'll all be in the description.
yeah.
Yeah, just the last bit about Spurs. Their next game is against Chelsea. That game might have already happened by the time this video comes up, but not expecting much from the Blue Boys.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, let's move on, lad. Let's move on to United. United.
Yeah. So where do we start?
Uh,
Um, they're not in good form. At all. They have all sorts of pressure going towards
oh
Ten
yeah,
Hag.
the pressure is so immense right now. Like it's actually insane. No one can breathe over there.
There's also been some controversy around some players. I don't know if you saw that,
Yeah.
especially Rashford. There's been some things going on there.
Apparently he's been partying.
Yeah,
You heard about that?
unbelievable.
Partying after you lost 3-0 to your rivals.
That's
Just
just not
you,
good.
you love to see it in this generation. Just absolutely love to see that.
They're probably making a case for themselves, like, oh, I had to do it to cheer myself up.
I was depressed, boss.
Then you see the old players, they probably didn't come out of their house for like a week after that happened.
Yeah. Well, I know the old guys like Rooney and Roy Keane and those
Roy.
guys, they'd be fuming. But
If
no,
they
these
were the
guys
manager, oh,
no, but these guys want to just live it up.
yeah.
Anyway,
Money,
so
money,
yeah,
money, money.
yeah, there's that going on. Not a good look. Also, before we get into the coach talk, I don't know if you saw this. So at the time of recording this, Man United played yesterday against Fulham and they ended up winning 1-0 with a late winner from Bruno. Narrow win. Garnacho, I don't know if you've ever seen this before. He at halftime, they walk into the tunnel. You know where the Man United tunnel is at Old Trafford? It's in the corner of the field, right? So you
Mhm.
walk through the fans and all that. And he gave his shirt to a Fulham fan
Yeah, I saw
at
that clip.
halftime.
I saw that clip. Yeah. Yeah, that's
What are you doing?
unusual.
It's halftime. Why are you giving your shirt at halftime? You haven't won the game. You're not winning the game.
Yeah.
You still have a whole
I don't
half to
know.
play. Why are you giving your shirt away?
I don't think it's like something to like make a huge
Oh,
controversy
really?
about.
Okay. Okay,
Like
sorry.
in
I
my
really hated
no,
that.
like in my opinion, I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world. He's just giving a shirt to a kid. Like it's not like he's I don't know, doing something very
No, you're
against
right.
the
It's not.
rules.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think there is a rule against that, but there should be an unwritten rule where you only like take your shirt off after the game.
I don't know. I think most of the times players change their shirt at halftime anyway.
Maybe.
They probably all change their shirt at halftime because they have like so many of those laying around.
If you're a manager, would that you? Okay, so let's say you're walking right behind Garnacho into the tunnel, right? You're the manager, and you see him do that. Do you just like kind of look and ignore it, or are you saying
Well,
something?
I would tell him like, "Hey, why are you doing that? It's halftime." But if he gives me like a reasonable excuse, like, "Oh, I don't know, the kid just had a sign or something, or he wanted my shirt," like I'd be like, "Okay, whatever, just go get a new one." Like in my
Mm,
opinion, I don't see it as something to like be making a huge controversy about. Like
okay.
he gave his shirt to a kid. Like
No, you're right. You're right.
it's a
That is a nice
wholesome.
thing to do.
You know what?
Just do it at full time.
When I saw the clip though, I must say I didn't know it was halftime. I saw the clip on social media
Yeah.
and the kid looked so happy and
Oh
I was
yeah. He looked.
telling my
It made
I
his
was
year.
I was thinking like, wow, what a good guy Garnacho making this kid's day like that. Like, but I had no idea it was at halftime.
Mhm.
I just saw the clip and I was like, wow, what an amazing guy. So
Yeah.
this is the first time I'm actually hearing about that. Um, but I don't think it's a big
Yeah,
deal.
he didn't mean anything bad by it. He had a good intention making that kid
Yeah.
day, month, or year even. But I don't
Yeah.
know. I just say if I'm the coach, I say like, hey, like, it's nice that you did that, but let's do it at full time, right? We're because it's also like all the spotlight that they have on them. They're Manchester United. They're not doing as well as they need to. When you see stuff unorthodox like that, it's just like people laugh at it more.
I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't think too much about that though.
Okay.
Whatever. Let's move on.
Okay, boss.
Let's move on.
Sir Alex wouldn't be having it. what are we moving on to? Oh yeah. So the manager, right? Ten
Mhm.
Hag is obviously, like you said, he's in a lot of pressure right now. Do you see him you know, getting a little boot?
I don't know. He's a good manager in my opinion. I don't
Do you think it's the
like
players that he has?
when I look at like the situation, right? Like I always compare it to my team Milan because
Mhm.
we're kind of in the same situation. Not as bad as Man United because
Where
we're
you're
a bit
supposed to be
higher up.
doing well. You're supposed to be doing well. You're a big, rich, well-known club, but you're
Yeah.
just not there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like we both have talented players. We don't have the best team in the league, but we both have talented players. And we are somehow still struggling more than we should be. So that's why I always compare it to Milan's situation, especially right now, how Milan are having a bunch of controversy against the manager. But I look at it and I'm like, Ten Hag, like his philosophy is a good philosophy. Like he doesn't rely on like all out defense. Like he likes playing fast. He likes having possession. He likes scoring goals, being aggressive. Um Pioli, I don't know what his identity is. So like in Milan's case, I agree. Yes, kick Pioli out. That's fine. Like his philosophy is screwed up. If you guys saw the game that Milan played yesterday, it was horrible. No game plan whatsoever. Just pass the ball to Leal pretty much. So like if a manager's philosophy is all over the place, I'd say kick him out. But Ten Hag, like
He at least has his ideas.
I've seen United play better ever since they hired him.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's just they haven't been clicking recently, and
Yeah,
there were some spells where United were doing really good, and then
that's true.
sometimes they were doing really bad. So I think it's just a matter of form and also players. Because think about it, how many managers have they gone through so far?
Since Sir Alex, probably.
Yeah.
I think they've gone through like Van Gaal, Mourinho, Solskjaer, David Moyes, I think, and Ten Hag. I don't know if I'm missing one, but quite a few since I think he
So
he retired in 2013, I think.
so they all like under every manager, they all had like good moments and bad moments. I just think it's a matter of getting like the right set of players
Hmm.
to do the job. And I don't think United are that bad. Like I don't honestly on paper they don't look that bad. It's just some things aren't clicking, and I think they just need a few more players to like maybe help push the team forward and like maybe a bit more experienced players or like world class level players.
Hmm.
A nice Mbappe wouldn't be too
Yeah,
bad.
that wouldn't be too bad, huh? Well, who are we
Um,
saying would be a good fit? Yeah, it was Mbappe when he was when it looked like he was leaving.
but yeah, I don't think he deserves to get sacked.
Okay.
I think they should keep him at least until the end of the season and then see where
Assess
it
from
goes from
there.
there. Yeah.
Do you think you talked about all their different forms and ups and downs. Do you think a lot of these like sways in the way they play happen so often maybe because of the pressure or the critics from, they're obviously a big club with a very opinionated fan base. Do you think it has to do with that, like criticism, maybe their leadership? I don't know how you feel about their leadership.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of pressure around them. They are one of the biggest teams in the world. So like on the players' part, on the manager's part, everybody has a lot of pressure on them to be the best that they can be. And when that doesn't happen, then
Yeah.
stories start coming out and problems start happening, and that just makes it harder. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's there's two problems, one on the team's part and then one on like the whole pressure side of things. So those things coming together creates the bad form, I
Yeah.
guess.
It's been pretty tough. We should mention Harry Maguire because he obviously gets a lot of hate. But you know what? Maybe it's not so deservingly these days. Because I hear and see a lot of good things about him. I don't know if you've heard some things, but it looks like he's doing well.
Yeah, I heard he's doing pretty damn good. Ever since I don't know, the last international break.
Yeah, probably, yeah. They've had a lot more wins with him than without him, I think. Um, Another thing about the manager, he's been starting Johnny Evans. He's been
Yeah.
starting him over like Varane. And he's been asked like, "Oh, is that like a fitness form?" And he's like, "Tactics to start Evans over Varane." I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
give him some time, you're right. Maybe assess at the end of this season. There have been a couple I don't know if it was Fabrizio or not. He's not the biggest rumor stirrer, so I'm not gonna say with him. But there's been some talks about Zidane potentially coming in, and I don't know.
I don't know, like if like I said, like you should give him time,
Mhm.
but at the same time, like if you get a world class manager like Zidane, then I might consider it.
Yeah.
Not even like
Do you think
for
he would be able to save them?
dude, and like I was gonna say right now, it's not even for just how good Zidane is as a manager, but like the motivation that someone like that can bring to a team. Because already when you switch managers, your team instantly starts playing better because there's like more motivation to
Yeah.
like prove yourself and like
Fresh start.
changing managers. Yeah, like fresh start. It always goes good for the team, at least for the first few weeks that you change a manager, and then maybe problems start coming after.
And then it's also Zidane.
But yeah, then so not only you get that motivation because it's Zidane, but you also get his tactics, which we saw at Real Madrid. Like he was
It,
he
it
was
proved to work.
it proved the work. So he's definitely a great manager. So I think if they get the chance to get Zidane, then I would take it. But I don't know, I would still give Ten Hag till the end of the season, and then I would switch over
Yeah.
if you really need to.
Where do you think they'll finish this year in terms of league and maybe Champions League? Do you think they'll get out of their group?
Uh, Let me see where they're
Right
at.
now they're right now they're third with 3 points, I think, because I don't know if you remember they got that win against Copenhagen because Onana saved that penalty and I think at the 90th minute.
Mm,
They're third place with one win, two losses, 3 points obviously. They're one behind Galatasaray. Bayern probably already won that group with 9 points.
yeah, it's
Okay,
gonna be
maybe it's
close.
it's not unrealistic to make it out.
No,
But yeah,
definitely.
what do you think?
I think they can definitely make it out. They just need to get those wins against Galatasaray and Copenhagen, and then hope for the best.
Yeah,
What are the games coming up?
I think they just have to play all three again because I think we're at that halfway point in the Champions League group stage.
So yeah, the next game is against Copenhagen, so
You
definitely
you need a win there, right? Like
get a win there for sure. Then Galatasaray, and then they play Bayern, and that's it.
so don't worry about Bayern guys. Just try and get the two wins. Just try
Yeah,
and get the
really.
two wins early.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta win those games.
Did they win their last game?
Yeah, in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won against. I'm pretty sure their last game was against Copenhagen when they won 1-0, and that was when Onana saved that penalty in the last minute to keep them alive. So it was like so tight, like they almost didn't win. So they
Yeah.
gotta shake that bad spell
Oh
off.
yeah, it was the one where Maguire scored, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I'm
oh,
checking that
Maguire and
right now.
Onana, the heroes, the unsung
Yeah.
heroes.
Yeah.
And then in the league, they're eighth place. Like, okay, let me just let the record say, like, I'm a Chelsea fan, all right? We're not doing well, but let me like speak on other topics. United are eighth place. They have 6 wins and 5 losses, no draws, 18 points in 11 games. Definitely could be worse, but obviously you wanna be in that top five spot at least. And you know what? It might look like the Champions League spots are probably already finished with City, Tottenham, Arsenal, and Liverpool because they're all having great years. And you got to try and fight with Brighton, Newcastle, and Villa for those European spots, which is actually not an easy task these days. So I don't know. We'll see what they can do in the league.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. It's just a matter of waiting and giving them time to maybe hopefully get back in form.
Maybe
And
another international break will do them favors.
yeah, or like maybe they stick together as a team through all the controversy and they try to play better. I know it's easier said than done,
Yeah.
But sometimes teams actually play better when the pressure starts getting to them.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they rally together and hopefully do better.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add before you wrap us up?
No, I think that should be it. We covered pretty much everything that we needed to talk about today. So I think that brings us to the end of another episode.
Another one
I
in the
hope you
books.
guys I hope you guys enjoyed that little chat and definitely, look out for more episodes like this in the future. We like doing these type of recap episodes because we're not like posting uh these like every week, so we kind
Mhm.
of have to, do quick little recaps every once in a while of the
Few,
things that have
a
been
few
going on.
opinions here and
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, what do you think they should be looking out for in the near future?
It's a good question. Obviously Champions League continues. We like to talk about Champions League. We always do our little footy updates. We kind of mentioned off air. Look out for maybe a hockey episode. Might get into that because it's been a while since we did that. Might have a guest on for that. And yeah, who knows? Just look out for the future. We might come up with some new ideas for you guys. Me and Nico's been talking about like some short little ranking episodes, stuff like that.
Yeah, we want to get into those ranking episodes. Those would be really fun. Like they wouldn't be obviously in like podcast format. It would just be like, I don't know,
10
10-minute
minutes. Yeah.
episodes, yeah, something like that. So, yeah, look out for that nice content. Obviously, I don't know if you guys know, but if you follow us on our socials, we post a lot of reels from these episodes. So please give us some love on those reels. They tend to do really good, a lot better than our episodes.
Also, if you don't want to sit through the whole hour, there's our best snippets there. And then if you want to look
Yeah.
at the whole thing, you just go from there.
Yeah, we post on TikTok, Instagram. We
YouTube
also post
Shorts.
YouTube shorts. So choose whichever
The
whichever
one of your
platform
liking.
you want and go for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the end of my spiel.
Don't forget to check out Andre in the description. We got his socials there, as I mentioned before. He covers Spurs and Toronto FC if you guys are interested in that. But yeah, Nico.
Yeah, okay. That brings us to the end of this episode. I'm not gonna bore you guys with any more begging. No, it's not begging, it's just information. But yeah, let's wrap it up, Andre. It's been another good episode, and I hope to see you guys again soon.
Yep. Look, hope to see you guys soon.
Bye.